Long, long ago, there was a wide and wild grassland. In this grassland, there were many animals, large and small, but none quite so small as the tiny field mouse. One tiny field mouse in particular lived in a tiny burrow with her 3 tiny children. She was known as Mama Mouse, and she was one of the kindest creatures in all the land. Each morning, she would wake up her children and greet the day with a smile as warm as the sun. Oh, the sky is clear and the sun is bright. Time to rise and shine and shake off the night. Say good morning to this great new day. I hope you all had the sweetest dreams filled with love and cheese and cool moonbeams, but it's morning and it's time to say it's a great new day. Mama Mouse and her children hopped out of their beds and made their way outside. It was a morning tradition to dance out in the early sunlight and greet the day as a family. I know today will be filled with joy, with time for work and time for toys, so good morning to this great new day. And it's no matter what the day will bring, 'cause we'll be together in the calm evening, so good morning. And it's time to say it's a great new day. Mama Mouse and her children went back inside the burrow for breakfast. When Mama went to get seeds from their pantry, she noticed they were running low. "Well, my loves," she said to her children as she set out what seeds they had, "it's time for me to gather some more food. Looks like I'll be venturing out today." The children's eyes widened. "Oh, I want to go. Take us with you. We're ready, we promise," they cried. The children were anxious to start gathering. They spent most of their time around the burrow and felt ready to explore the rest of the wide and wild grassland. "Absolutely not," said Mama Mouse. "You're far too young to gather, and besides, you know there are many dangers outside of our burrow. I've worked very hard to befriend the animals who would otherwise bring us harm, but there are still more that I have yet to meet. You shall do as you always do on gathering days. Stay inside until I get back." The children let out a collective groan. "Aww." "I know you're disappointed," Mama replied. "But think about this. Tonight, we shall have a feast." The children cheered. "Yay! Thanks, Mama. Love you. Bye!" And with that, the children quickly stuffed their mouths with seeds and rushed off to play with their toys. Mama Mouse let out a sigh of relief. She knew her children would soon be of gathering age, but she was the one who wasn't ready to let them go too far from the burrow. For now, she was happy that they would be safe at home for another day. Mama Mouse grabbed her satchel, woven from grass, and started out on her quest. It's a great new day. Mama knew that the best seeds and berries were found in the small patches of bushes and trees that were scattered about the grasslands. As she moved from one to the next, she made sure to stay low so that the tall grasses would hide her from any harmful animals. On her first stop, she found a yummy bunch of seeds among a group of wildflowers. As she started to fill her satchel, she heard a noise in the grass. Mama Mouse froze as the animal got closer and closer until Sammy the snake slithered up. "Whew!" Mama Mouse exhaled. "You scared me, Sammy." "So sorry about that, Mama. I'm just excited to see you," Sammy exclaimed. "I'm excited to see you too. Hey, how is your burrow coming along?" Mama asked. "Pretty swell," Sammy replied. "But I could use your help filling some of the holes. Your tiny feet are perfect for that kind of thing." "I'd be happy to," Mama exclaimed. "But will you give me a ride to the watering hole afterwards?" "Of course, that's the code," Sammy said with a wink. The kindness code was Mama Mouse's signature idea. She had agreements with animals all over the grasslands. If she helps them, they help her. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Help each other feel so fine. Whatever may come down the road, I'll make good on what is owed. That's the kindness code. Whoa, oh, oh, that's the kindness code. It's the kindness code. Mama patted some much-needed dirt into the cracks of Sammy's new burrow. It looked fantastic. As promised, Sammy gave Mama a ride over to the watering hole. It was always exciting to travel on Sammy's back. Once they arrived, Mama thanked Sammy and got to work looking for some nuts to bring back home. Just as she came across a delicious selection in the underbrush of a tree, she heard some rustling overhead. Mama Mouse froze. The sound got closer and closer until the monkey twins dropped into view. Whew! Mama Mouse sighed. I didn't know what might be coming down that tree. Hi, you two. Well, hey there, the twins giggled. Finding anything good today? Oh, yes, quite a good haul, replied Mama. What are you up to on this fine morning? Well, we were doing some grooming. Yeah, I gotta put in time for self-care. And we came across some knots that were just too tangled for our big fingers. We were wondering if you wouldn't mind helping us out? They asked. No problem, said Mama, but would you be willing to swing me on over to the next patch of trees? I'm on the hunt for some juicy berries today. You bet, the monkeys replied as they started to sing. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Help each other feel so fine. Whatever may come down the road, I'll make good on what is owed. That's the kindness code. Whoa, oh, whoa. That's the kindness code. It's the kindness code. Mama got to work on untangling the knots in their fur. It was quick and easy with her tiny toes. As soon as she was done, the monkeys scooped her up and started swinging her to the next tree patch. It sure was exhilarating, swinging like that. Once they arrived, Mama thanked the twins and started her search for the berries. She wasn't having very much luck at all when she felt a shadow overhead, blocking out the sun. Oh no, she thought as she froze in place. What could it be this time? The shadow got bigger and bigger until Sheila Stork landed right in front of her. Whew! Sheila, Mama cried. I thought you were a bird I didn't know. Relax, Mama. It's just me, Sheila soothed. And have I got a surprise for you? Really? Mama's eyes got big. What is it? Well, I was just hanging out around the edge of the far jungle, and I saw the most delicious berries in the bushes. I thought you might like to get some for your kids. Want me to fly you there? Wow, thanks. But the jungle... Mama gulped. It might be too dangerous. Not at all. I'll be right there, standing lookout. I would get the berries myself, but I'm too big to get under those bushes. Could you grab a few extra for me? Sheila asked. Of course I will, Mama Mouse replied, and you know why. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Help each other feel so fine. Whatever may come down the road, I'll make good on what is owed. And that's the kindness code. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's the kindness code. It's the kindness code. Mama hopped on Sheila's back as the stork shot up into the sky. What a thrill, riding so high up off the ground. Mama closed her eyes to enjoy the wind in her fur. Soon they reached the edge of the far jungle. Mama started to feel a little nervous. You'll see the berries just a few trees in, Sheila explained. I'll fly to the top of this tree here, and if I see anything, I'll call out and you start running towards me as fast as you can. Sounds like a plan, said Mama, hiding her nerves. She was a little scared, but knew the berries weren't far off. She could be in and out in just a few minutes. She took a deep breath and headed into the underbrush. The jungle sure was beautiful. So many different shades of green. The bright blue and red berries caught Mama's eye right away. Jackpot, she thought as she scooped the berries into her satchel. This was easier than she could have imagined. Then, through the bush, she saw a glint of purple shining in the sun. What a treat! A rare, sweet purple berry! Mama Mouse rushed under the bush to the other side. Suddenly, she found herself in a clearing, and her stomach dropped. Asleep, on the ground in front of her, was the biggest lion she had ever seen. Usually in these situations, Mama would freeze in fear, but she remembered what Sheila told her. Run! So she did, but in all of her panic, she ran the wrong way and bumped right into the lion's nose. The mighty lion woke with a start. Mama tried to keep running, but the lion grabbed her by the tail. Well, 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 he bellowed. What have we here? A tiny field mouse daring to wake me from my afternoon nap. Don't you know? Sleep is the most important part of a cat's day. Well, that and dinner. It's such hard work when I'm out on the prowl, stalking my prey as my tum-tum growls, and woe is me as my energy wanes. I must be careful not to overstrain, because I'm just a kitten after all. Yes, I am big, but my needs are small. I hunt for an hour, then I heed the call that it's time to take a cat nap before I fall. Oh, I fall. Oh. So what should happen if my sleep is disturbed? I wake feeling groggy and a little perturbed. How can I go on? Well, now here's a hunch. I guess I could get by after a tiny mouse brunch, because I'm just a kitten after all. Yes, I am big, but my needs are small. I hunt for an hour, then I heed the call that it's time to take a cat nap before I fall. Oh, I fall. Oh, I fall. Oh, I fall. So I suppose you leave me no choice, the lion purred. It's only fair that I eat you now. Any last words? Mama Mouse's mind was racing. What could she say? What could she do? She opened her mouth, but no sound came out. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Oh! No, no! Oh! I am funny, because it's your tail that I've got, not your tongue. Oh! Ah, the lion roared with laughter. Finally, Mama Mouse squeaked out a sound. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Help each other feel so fine. Whatever may come down the road, I'll make good on what is owed. That's a kindness code. Code. It's a kindness code. It's a kindness code. The lion was amused. What's that now? Some terribly off-key song about a code or something? A kindness code, Mama stammered. It's a pact that I make with other animals. It means that if they do something kind for me, I'll do something kind for them. We help each other. You help each other? The lion seemed skeptical. Now, what could a tiny mouse ever do to help another animal? Everyone else is at least 3 times your size. Exactly, Mama exclaimed. There's lots of little things that I can do that other animals can't because they're too big. So we keep to the kindness code and look out for each other." "Ha!" laughed the lion. "Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? That I let you go now, and in return, you'll do something for me?" Mama gulped. "Yes?" The lion was quiet for a moment. He stared at Mama and chuckled. "Well, as you might know, cats are very curious creatures, and I must say, you've piqued my interest. Whatever could a tiny field mouse do that could help me, the king of the jungle?" "I can't possibly think of anything, but here's the deal. If I let you go now, and you will have to find a way to make it up to me within a week's time. Got it?" "Absolutely. That's the kindness code," Mama asserted. "The kindness code. You are a funny little mouse, aren't you? All right, off you go." No sooner had the lion released Mama's tail than she was running as fast as she could out of the jungle and away from his sharp claws. Sheila the stork was waiting at the edge as promised. Mama jumped on her back with incredible speed. As they flew home, Mama told her the whole story. By the time they reached the burrow, Sheila was convinced that Mama was the bravest mouse around. "I can't believe you got a lion to agree to the kindness code," she said as she lowered Mama to the ground. "Get your kids to come out here. I want to watch the looks on their faces when I tell them what you did." No. Keep your voice down." Mama hushed as she heard the kids stirring. "They can't know. It would give them nightmares. Let's just keep it between us and hope that I find a way to repay him sooner rather than later." The children rushed out of the burrow to greet Mama and Sheila. They were anxious to know what had been gathered that day. "Did you get seeds? What about nuts? Any berries?" they asked. "Yes," assured Mama. "I got all 3. And we have Sheila to thank for helping us get the most plump berries I've seen all year. Let's share some with her." The children each gathered a berry and gave them to their tall stork friend. "Thank you, Sheila," they yelled. "Well, thank you all for sharing. And thank you, Mama, for today's great adventure," she said with a wink. "I'm off now, but let me know if you need anything." Mama and the children waved as Sheila flew off into the sunset. "Now," Mama said, "let's eat." The family ran inside to enjoy the day's treasures. A few days went by, and Mama still had no idea what she would do to repay the lion. It's possible that she could just avoid ever seeing the lion again, but that was a violation of the kindness code. She gave her word, and she meant to stick by it. One night, an agonizing sound woke Mama Mouse from her sleep. She knew right away that it was the powerful roar of the lion, but he sounded like he was in pain. She rushed outside the burrow to get a better listen. As soon as she was out the door, Sheila flew down. "Mama," she cried, "it's the lion. He fell into a trap and got caught in a huge hunter's net. He can't free himself." "Oh dear," Mama exclaimed. "We have to go help him. That's the code. I bet I can chew through some of the net with my teeth." The children came outside to hear the commotion. "I don't know," Sheila continued. "The net is far too big for one mouse. I think you're going to need some help." She gestured to the children. "No," Mama insisted. "They're not ready." "Mama," the oldest child replied, "we can do this. Let us help." Mama knew that Sheila and her children were right. She still wasn't ready to let them leave the burrow, but she knew if they wanted to save the lion, they needed to act fast. "Okay, but follow my instructions exactly," Mama said. "Everyone hop on Sheila's back, and Sheila, we're going to need to recruit a few more helpers along the way." As they headed out into the night sky, Mama sang out to her friends. "Every day we pledge to help our neighbors and our friends. We tell them that we'll be there right until the very end. But now's the time for movement. Behind our words we stand. We know it animals finally arrived at the edge of the forest, Mama started to give her orders. All right, Sammy and the kids come with me. We'll head under the bushes to get to the lion. Sheila and the twins will stick to the top of the trees and meet us there. Once we find him, he might be scared. Let me talk to him first, before anyone else acts. Got it? The animals nodded in agreement, and the children were amazed by their mother's bravery. Mama Mouse led the way as everyone headed into the jungle. When the animals reached the lion, he was roaring in pain and thrashing around under the net. Excuse me, Mr. Lion? Mama gently called out to the beast, but he didn't notice and he kept roaring. Mr. Lion? Mama called out in a louder voice, but the lion still didn't stop. Hey! Mama cried forcefully as she shot under the net. The other animals were shocked. Mama could easily be crushed under his paw. As the lion brought his head near the ground, Mama hopped on his nose. She hugged it, and she patted it gently with her tiny feet. It's okay, she soothed. It's Mama Mouse, and I'm here to help you. The lion came out of his panicked state. He started to relax and found himself lying down on the ground. He was weak and exhausted, but managed to exhale a soft, "Thank you." "You got it," she replied. "Now stay calm, and we'll have you out of here in no time. Team, let's get to work." The animals shot into action. Mama and the children started chewing on the net to make a hole big enough for the lion to escape. Sammy the snake slithered under the net and tossed up cool dirt around the lion to keep him from getting too hot. The monkey twins dropped down leaves full of water for the lion to drink. Sheila the stork used her overhead view to find seeds, nuts, and berries to keep the lion and the team nourished. The animals worked through the night and into the next morning. As the sun broke over the jungle, the mice were working on the last few bits of net. "Just a few more moments, Mr. Lion," Mama said as the children finished up. 3, 2, 1, that's it! You're free! The lion roared and threw off the net in one huge motion, scaring the animals as they huddled together in a group. They had almost forgotten how big and powerful and dangerous the lion was. He slowly made his way towards the group with a low, growling sound. Mama hugged her children tight. What if the lion didn't care about the code after all? What if they did all of that work only to become the lion's breakfast? The lion brought his head close to the group and opened his jaws wide. After a moment, he took a breath and said, "I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Help each other feel so fine. Whatever may come down the road, I'll make good on what is owed. That's the kindness code. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's the kindness code. It's the kindness code." The animals breathed a huge sigh of relief. The lion bumped Mama Mouse with his nose as a thank you, and the rest of the children ran to hug it. They all danced as they joined together in song. That's the kindness code. Whoa, whoa, whoa.